Hello, I'm just waking up. I got a whole lot of notifications on my phone. I do know that the Nintendo Switch 2 is a thing. I haven't seen any of the information other than the leaks because, again, I've been hit up with text messages of pictures of what it looks like. I saw the logo, which is actually surprisingly what leaked. I'll just say off rip, I'm surprised that it is just that straightforward as Nintendo Switch 2. To be honest, it is a little disappointing. I do like when Nintendo is a little bit more surprising than that, but it is what it is. I'm sure that it's going to be sick. What I'm here to do today is to watch the trailer. All right, let's do it. I wonder if they're going to change the sound. Yep, so it's like that's crazy. The whole thing fully leaked. I have a lot of thoughts on Nintendo Switch 2. Most of them positive, some not so positive, and others I'm not entirely settled on and want to iron out. Before any of that, let's make a bet. I wager my promise that you will enjoy this video. You wager a click of the like button. If I'm wrong, feel free to not only unlike the video, hit dislike. If I'm right, click subscribe. Shake? Shake. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. Leak culture ruined this reveal. Don't get me wrong, it was still a great reveal in my opinion. I am extremely excited to know Nintendo Switch 2 exists and is indeed a straightforward evolution of what we love and know works. But I have a hunch based on my lifetime of playing games as a Nintendo fan and a little bit less so my marketing degree, that this reveal was intended to feel like opening a series of mystery boxes. Something we are meant to unpack and unravel as that thing continuously is challenged, evolved, or subverted, and then bam, brand new, better version of the thing you love. And it's not just a revision, it's an entirely new generation. To better illustrate it, let's walk through how I think this was supposed to be seen, and that should hopefully help you understand my feelings here, assuming you don't already. Off the wake up, you open your social media page of choice and there's a link from Nintendo. No details, just a simple call to action for us to see some new information. Look, a Nintendo Switch. But wait, it has a much bigger screen, a new USB-C port. What's up with that? A reworked kickstand? Look, Joy-Con. But wait, they're black now? They have accented colors? Is that a new button? What's up with the sliding? Are they a mouse? They reworked the rails for Joy-Con? Magnets? Look, it's not just Nintendo Switch, it's Nintendo Switch 2. It works with your digital and physical Switch games. More information in April, smiley face. This is a journey that most, if not all of us here could not go on because we have been inundated with constant rumors and leaks that instead of the series of thoughts and questions I just described, the actual experience is more akin to, okay, so that leak was right, and so was that one? Huh. So that's it? Contrary to much of the sentiment I've seen purported online, that's not the trailer's fault. As far as Nintendo is concerned, this is all new information, and they intended to wield it in a way that would have kept us talking and guessing on what it all could mean between now and April. And yeah, I'm sure they're pissed, but to be real, I don't care that they're pissed. Nintendo is a massive company. They will be fine. I'm pissed. I would have loved to be genuinely surprised. A lot of what I do on this channel is rooted in my desire to wonder about what could happen and being surprised by what the actual outcome is, right or wrong. Leaks ruin that. I don't know, it's whatever. I just wanted to express that in this video since I don't see a whole lot of people talking about it from that angle. Now, let's do some wondering on what it is that we don't know yet. Leaks aside, there are a few things from the trailer I was still left curious about and will absolutely fuel some future video ideas for me between now and launch. First of all, how will they use the new Joy-Con mouse feature? And is it just a mouse feature, or will there be other applications we aren't aware of? Off rip, my assumption is this is intended to be a new control method that will culminate in a similar way to the way motion aiming in Splatoon did. It's a new control method that will reshape the way people feel feel about certain game types, and in theory, I think I may be one of those people. A lot of people don't want to play shooters without some form of motion aiming. I'm one of those people, so maybe the same will be the case for this Joy-Con mouse situation. I hate keyboard and mouse controls, and most of the reason for that is the keyboard side of that equation. Movement feels terrible, button inputs feel unnatural, and the overall experience feels bulky, cumbersome, and I hate it. Did I mention I hate it? Anyway, this could be an easy way to combine the best of both worlds in an even more straightforward way than I feel motion aiming does. You have the precision of a mouse without the baggage of motion gaming, as well as a much cleaner control method for movement and other button inputs than you have on a keyboard. And it's for this reason I can see this working well with shooters. I can see this opening the floodgates to strategy games and other PC staples. I can see a lot of games simply implementing the feature for menu navigation. Splatoon, again, could see a glow up from this. Mario Maker could see a glow up from this. So many games that people would never want to play on console could be made not only possible, but even potentially preferable on Switch 2 if Nintendo sticks the landing here. But the real test for me will be, how will Mario Party use it? What's the WarioWare angle? What games has Nintendo cooked up specifically to showcase the possible applications that the significantly more left-brain minded developers would never think to do? A point of contention throughout the entirety of the OG Switch's life was the efficacy of Joy-Con. That's true for stick drift, obviously. That was true for the rail system. It was true for the ergonomics of the controllers themselves. Has Switch 2 solved any or even all of these things? Clearly, can't say for sure just yet, but we do have reason to believe it's making a concerted effort to, at the very least. As far as stick drift is concerned, it stuck out to me that Nintendo chose to really focus in on the analog sticks for a slightly prolonged period of time in the Switch 2 trailer. When they revealed the original Joy-Con, they barely focused on the sticks at all, likely because they figured it would just be business as usual. But this time, they chose to zoom in and metaphorically say, look, these move and they work. That tells me we'll probably see them confirm some sort of improvement on the mechanical level. I don't know if it's necessarily a Hall effect or not. Nintendo can be pretty cagey about embracing certain technologies, but I am confident the analog sticks have been improved in some way. As far as the rails, Nintendo has confirmed they are no longer using the more analog sliding approach they used on Switch, but rather Switch 2 seems to be utilizing a new port situation, which I assume is magnetic. Probably. Doesn't expressly say, but we can infer based on leaks and rumors. One thing is for sure though, and that is the release button on the back of the Joy-Con will definitely be less annoying to press than the current Joy-Con. I just wonder how well this new method will keep them in place and how well it will hold up to extended wear and tear. As far as ergonomics are concerned, they didn't do much to change anything there, which I personally like. But most of the complaints I have seen from people for the original Joy-Con are that they are too small, and that's been addressed just by virtue of the fact that the entire Switch 2 itself has been made larger. And it's also worth noting that the SL and SR buttons have been made larger as well to improve the way they feel when we're using them, despite the fact that many people online say they get little to no use out of them. I know some kids that do. I've used them from time to time, so it's an exciting improvement in my opinion. We'll see if that's enough to sway anyone's opinions that don't like the original form factor. But again, I personally do prefer Switch's sleeker approach to the bulky designs from handheld PC land. Similarly to the analog sticks, Nintendo paid special attention to the addition of a second USB-C port on Nintendo Switch 2. And while I have some ideas on what it may be for, they provided no real information on what the official purpose will be. It could just be as straightforward as them providing a better way to charge the console when playing handheld. It could be a port for standard USB-C accessories like headphones or even microphones or cameras. Or even more exciting to me, it could be for something that was rumored to be a potential application. More proprietary peripherals that can enable things like dual screen play. Could even be all of the above. USB-C is a very versatile technology. It'd be odd to just be used for charging, and just seems like a relatively expensive decision for Nintendo to make without having more involved plans. But again, We shall see. And the final major hardware mystery Nintendo left us, what is that new button? The last time we got a new button on a Nintendo console, it was for snapshotting and capturing 30-second gameplay clips. Something I also hope evolves on Nintendo Switch 2 to at least allow for, say, 10 minutes, maybe even an hour, if we're getting crazy and this thing indeed ends up shipping with at least 256 gigabytes of storage. That's a bit of a tangent, but what is this new button for? The rumor is it's a C button, something Nintendo obscures for some reason. Most of these rumors purport that it's another button dedicated to social features. A lot of it sounds like a continuation of Miiverse to me. I don't know why that sort of thing can't just be allocated to the share button, which leads me to think we may be missing something with the new C button. But I hate Twitter now and would totally be down to divert my attention mostly to a Nintendo focused social media platform, since that's most of what I use social media for now anyway. We'll be able to stream from Switch 2. Will this new button and potential platform facilitate any of that? It's certainly possible. Again, I'd be down if so. Perhaps the most organically exciting thing about this trailer was the new Mario Kart game Nintendo teased. I don't know if it's Mario Kart 9 or some other kind of freaky name. All I know is it's definitely new, though I will say at first glance it is hard to know for sure. If you zoom in and enhance, it becomes clear that there are at least a few updated models for characters like Mario. It looks a bit more rounded to me. Peach's hair is no longer in a ponytail, and definitely Donkey Kong, who is sporting a redesign that is absolutely inspired by the Mario movie's return to form redesign, something that was predicted here in an old video you can check out after this if you want, linked in the card above. Apart from that, this trailer seems to confirm 24 players, 12 of which can be seen in a race, a few new stages, all pretty straightforward stuff. However, I do think there's a lot more to this game than we are currently being shown. But what is the question? If the marquee feature does end up being the increased player count, how will that impact course design? How massive will the playable roster be? There seems to be some interesting quirks to certain karts in this trailer. Is increased kart customization the play? Are we getting something entirely different that they are intentionally hiding from us? I think so, and if so, we will probably have to wait until April to know exactly what any of that is. To continue the line of questions, how much will this thing cost? Will we indeed be looking at the $400 price tag that's been rumored for a while? It's looking like the US at the very least may be at risk for an increase from that price, assuming proposed tariffs stick and end up impacting video games in the way we think they will. I'm a little torn on whether Nintendo will factor that in from the beginning and launch with an even higher US price, or maybe they'll launch at $400 and increase the price once they run out of stock that was imported before the presumed tariffs come into play. Or will they instead choose to eat the rising costs for fear that raising the price after launch may anger consumers? All things to think about. We can hope against hope that none of that will actually come into play, but it's definitely something to consider if you're in the US and thinking about buying. On a similar note, will Nintendo Switch 2 games cost more? Not just in response to the potential tariffs, but also to follow through on Tears of the Kingdom's special pricing. Will $70 become the new norm for Nintendo games as well, or will they maintain their current case-by-case approach with standard being $60? And what about Pro controllers? Will we be getting significant redesigns for those as well, or will they just be updated with the new button and that's it? On the topic of controllers, what's up with the IR sensor? The Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Con seem to have omitted it entirely, and that's likely at least part of the reason Nintendo suggests Switch 2 would lack full backward compatibility with certain games. I get that developers at large ignored the existence of this feature, but this personally bums me out a bit. I'm always in favor of more input mechanisms, not less. There was definitely more that Nintendo and other developers could have accomplished with the IR sensor, in my opinion. Maybe we will see similar functionality via the new sensor that makes the mouse-like feature possible. And I'm sure I'm missing something or a question that you may have, but the biggest question on all of our minds, when will Nintendo Switch 2 be released? I've seen any number of guesses between April and November, but if I personally had to place a bet, my money would be on sometime in May for most of the world, with other regions like China following shortly after. That's what I think. What do you think about the newly revealed Nintendo Switch 2? Let me know in the comments. While you're down there, like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed it and are excited for more Nintendo Switch 2 videos from me. Thank you to executive producer Trev L. Steinberg and all of these other great names you see scrolling on the screen for helping making these videos possible. If you'd like to join them in supporting this channel, head to the link in the description to learn everything that's in store for you at shop.watchredirect.com. Okay, that's it for me. See you in the next video.